I close my eyes and I open my eyes, I see hope is coming. I see change is coming because I see cheddar. He came for the youth, and the youth are ready for him, and we are going to vote for him. No matter anything that happens, we are going to vote for him because we see change and we see hope.
Ghana, and it is swaba, Mama and Tuzana, Yamia don't ever say a demand.
All right. Hello, beloved family. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Matt from Matt Multimedia. Another beautiful section. This time around, we're looking at how many times the government of Ghana has turned their back on Kwame Bediako and have disappointed him. How many times the government of Ghana are pulling down the agenda of Kwame Bediako.
There was so much pressure. I felt a little bit humiliated, but not by a person or a group, but an entire country. Because then I brought those people and it looks like everyone had turned their back on me. You know, whether it's the leaders or the government or the nation or the people. So I felt humiliated and I thought that, is it because of the mask issue?
Yes, like government, there are different cogs in the wheel of government. Ministers, members of parliament, the three different arms of government. But then I would ask you, does that mean you have a manifesto?
I do. We do have a manifesto. Okay. We have a manifesto.
What are the core plans?
And then we have the constitution. 1 minute, I'll come back to your question. We have a manifesto, we have a constitution, and we have built 16 offices in the 16 regions. We've read the constitution and we've followed what we had to do. Put in the application for a political party, but we were not responded to. After the 7 days,
you were not responded to by whom? The Electoral
by the
Commission?
EC. Yes. After 7 days, when you pay and you submit, they have to respond to you after 7 days. It's been 3 months. Okay, so I'm not here to talk about laws.
Have you followed up?
Oh, yes, we wrote a letter again, you know, and they still haven't responded. Okay, we don't have to go there, but I hope that the EC can hear me and say, okay, let's respond to this young man. We're supposed to give him his provisional licenses. So, you know, if they had given us that, today New Force will be talking about the actual party, you know, and using the logos and using maybe our mottos and slogans and stuff like that. But, you know, since that hasn't happened, it doesn't mean that it should stop the conversation or stop the mission or even restrict the vision. We're still going ahead. We're still going ahead with the New Force movement, which is supported by...
That explains why you're classifying yourself as a movement for now.
A few days ago, I mean, very well publicized event, the convention. On the day of this particular event, something happened. But before we even get there, let's get a clear understanding of the intent behind the convention igniting the voices of Africa. What was the reasoning behind putting together this program that never was in the first place?
Now let's come to the convention. We brought 4 Africans who have spoken and spent 3 decades of their lives fighting for a better Africa. We brought them into Ghana to speak to the youth and to speak to the continent.
In all of this, it is not Kwame Bediako they are hurting. They are not against him. They are not attacking Kwame Bediako, but rather they are attacking the youth of Ghana. In the first instance, let's look at the convention that he organized and look at how many people were attending this convention. How many young people in Ghana who wanted to come for this convention to learn, to be able to have their eyes open to the realities in Africa. And what happened? At the last minute of the convention, the government of Ghana had to cancel this convention in the Black Star Square. So mind Ghana, o nipa be sorry. Na se opese empuntuo eba oman mu na youth no yenya baby papa gina na yetumi fire ntoma pa efra na yetumi di ensesi ebo say indeed we are Africans empenifo ne bi abro any beye enti omon pese youth no will have our liberation abro ne beye enti In Penifone, our leaders don't want us to have our eyes open to the realities in Africa, the realities, what is going on in our country. So what did they do? They canceled this program, which was meant for the youth. They canceled this program, which was meant for the growth and the development of the youth. In so many countries, these events are organized to help the youth understand the realities of life, become more entrepreneur, become more inclusive in the management and the growth of our nation. These events are organized everywhere in most countries. But why? Why did the government have to cancel this convention? The cancellation of this convention and upcoming Bediako organized for the people of Ghana was useless and meaningless. It takes a weak-minded government to boycott events which are meant towards the growth of the youth in a country. It takes a diabolical mindset on the part of the government to resist and to control and to prevent growth, knowledge, revelation in the youth in our country. Such events being boycotted, being cancelled, then you know that they wish the people of Ghana to remain where we are. The MPP and NDC don't want growth in the youth. Acquire MPP any NDC ever so I say Ghana mine and penifone pesa yen youth ni yebe ho sade no enti bibia which is meant for feeding our minds, for the development, the cognitive development of every youth in Ghana in penifone mpe. Because if our minds are fed with good news, our minds are opened, our eyes are open to the realities in Africa, the African youth will start asking questions, would start asking relevant questions, and our leaders don't have answers to those relevant questions.
Nipa bebre ebi mo cancel from 20 before 2020 no obi or registration bia ya cancel. It's say mutimi educate a mining nyina kra no mu hu say wo vote unni 2021 register bi dia untimi nto aba ne bi. What I say, it's say we nyina no yetimi ka kire man no ya ka no kra na obi ti say Kwame, a veteran like Kwame, menene wo radio station here onu dey free say there's continuous registration. Make ka kire say there's nothing like that. But or say true, ama wa confirm ama peace from workers kra so confirm say o mate. Enti ehiva no mukoti sa same way. E na ya frown na won so ka say there bibia ni ho sa. What I say, enti education about this is very bad. And I think that democracy is what governs our country, not dictatorship. I want to use this very moment to address this issue in Ghana. And I speak not with authority, but with decency and politeness. Say, about democracy, and then there shouldn't be politicians that are dictating for the government. The government should stand for the citizens. Let us have the right to be able to vote. Let us have the right to be able to register. Because yanka say nim niasi ebiana make say Kwame wa ha ono onim say registration no more restricted. Enti say na find out we nyina and I dey mepesa me dey betu onim doctor. Na wutimi any isi mining nyina kasa the government no mahu say ayade say so mo ye Ghana for. We have the right, we're entitled to vote when we're 18, and we shouldn't be deprived from this opportunity. It takes another 4 years. Answer yes, me vote TBM, and you're fine. Well, I'm just saying, say, and then Kwana me complaining, say, Adia Mashisha say, you know, you're brave, and I make crime back, and so on, so di 18 next month, 6 June. Na share and a young for no muko school near there, they be 18, and so omuni kwani be aso mbekwa register. Minim crofobin so amu one crassi be our maka say, oh, say no omuntimi register. I just a bus na e funny pardon and muko register no be no motinam. Me dem free say say yetimi bie it's a polling station say hwa na e be san to aba no. Enti say e bia bo nipa no motimi register ne ya. Emfa a problem bi amba. But me free say there is some kind of restriction. Enti na mebu bo obia din amakope omo e was letter we obia responded me sanche only pakra of please were responding no me already so America me di bread Jin Mensa and makope
I'll say the Abremo Electoral Commission.
Me the Electoral Commission and makope
I'll say the bad last week
yes last week 17th letter no is dated. It's dated here.
Now, only by last week and then Monday.
17th May and then 27th, Anna.
Until 10 days, 2 weeks ago.
I check. Obian responded. And I make registration so Obian responded. Besides that, no Speaker of Parliament, a D when you know Mabubo, no. I say at least I say Obi responded. And I may free say bia a who about mining and Obi and Timin Casa. Now then Obian Casa.
Na other than Wabam, and then
If all this could happen to Nana Kwame Bediako, the question that I'm asking you who are watching me right now is, would they not pull him out on the final day of the elections? If they could prevent his convention from coming to a reality which was meant directed towards the growth and the development of the youth, what would they not do to pull him out of these elections? Nana Kwame Bediako, what assurance are you giving to the youth, we those who are following you, that on the last day of these elections in Ghana, your name will not be taken out of the ballot papers? You won't be attacked again. You won't be rejected again. You won't be pulled down again as they did to you during the convention. On the last minute, the convention was cancelled. Order from above. What assurance are you giving to the strong believers of the new force that on the day of elections, your name and your image will not be torn out of the ballot papers? That we will go and we want to vote for the new force. We will get there and we won't see you on the ballot papers because this government has diabolical minds. What assurance, Cheddar, are you giving to we, the youth who are solidly behind you, that on the very day of the elections, your name, your image will not be struck out? Because they have done it to you before when your billboards were pulled down.
Me nam kwan so me behind you now. Me who me billboard bia. Me who me picture bia. Esu me duru ano. Me who se domino mo ano. Mo nyina mo ye me nipa. Anti se billboard oh. No billboard oh. Yeah, GMI. Me say, yeah, GMI. Na ahwadena mo wono. Woni comedy no ho a. Me say, am no you bet me access to the game.
What assurance are you giving to the young people that on the day of elections, your image, your picture, and your name will not be struck out of the ballot papers because they see you as a threat? What assurance are you giving to the vibrant majority of the youth who are solidly behind you that on the day of the elections, we will go and we will see Cheddar and Kwame Bediako's name on the ballot paper and we will vote massively for you? What assurance are you giving to us? Because most of us are still trembling. Most of us are still in fear of what the government can do to you, the extent to which these leaders can go to get your name out of the ballot papers. In Adenta Medina, look at the hindrance, the block that the police, look at what the police did. What assurance, Cheddar, are you giving to the youth that we are following you massively? That on the day of these elections, you are not going to be out of the ballot papers, that we won't see Nana Kwame Bediako. We will pick up the sheet to vote. We will go through. Nana Kwame Bediako's name is not there for us to vote. What assurance are you giving to the youth that this is not going to happen? Because the leaders are capable of going to the extent of making sure this happens to you and to the people of Ghana, to be able to control us. The young people in Ghana, let's voice out. If we shout 10 times louder and the leaders cannot hear us, that we are suffering in our country, let's shout 100 times more stronger for them to know that we are sick and tired of MPP. We are suffering in our nation. If 100 times we shout louder and they cannot hear us, let's shout 10,000 more stronger than before until they hear us. If 10,000 times the leaders cannot hear that the youth, we are suffering in our country, let's shout 100,000 times stronger until they hear us that we want to change. We want Nana Kwame Bediako into power. These diabolical ideologies and plans of the MPP to keep you out of this election, this diabolical mindset of the NDC to keep you out of this election, this diabolical mindset of the Electoral Commission to keep you out of this election would not happen. We are solidly behind you, and we are going for the power. We are going for the win. Let's voice out the youth in Ghana. Let's voice out, and on that day, we want to see Nana Kwame Bediako's image and his name on the ballot papers, and we are going to vote massively for him. On the day of elections, we, the youth of Ghana, we want to see his name there. Nobody will strike out his name from this list. The new force must be on the ballot papers. The new force will be on the ballot papers. And we believe the Electoral Commission is going to do the right thing. The media is going to do the right thing. You are not going to use any false tactics to pull Nana Kwame Bediako out of these elections. He is standing this election and he's winning. Thank you very much, guys. Let's all speak out. Let's voice out our opinions. Let the government know that enough of the attacks against Nana Kwame Bediako and the attack against we the youth. So you are not ridiculing Nana Kwame Bediako. You are not pulling him down. You are not turning your back against him, but rather you are doing that to the young people of Ghana.
We see change and we see hope.
Ghana, and it is swaba, Mama Yantu Zana, Yamia Dum, Tia Bessia Dimana.